Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the gas laws. So in this particular lecture, we will be discussing only two, that is Boyle's law and Charles' law. Now, before going into the laws, let me tell you. In the previous lectures, we have studied about the terminologies and the type, I mean the ideal gas. And the under ideal gas, we have assumed some assumptions also, or we have considered some assumptions also. And under those assumptions, we said that the ideal gas does not exist in real, isn't it? Because it is a hypothetical gas, the imaginary, all the rules or the assumptions which we considered, they were not applicable, or they are not applicable to real gases. Now then why do we study the gas laws considering the gas would be an ideal gas? Why? Because all the conclusions which we will draw from the gas laws, okay, we will compare the ideal gas with the real gas, and under those, or with the help of those conclusions, we will study the real gases which will be taught to you in higher classes. Okay, so let us begin. The first law is Boyle's law. Now what is Boyle's law? And always remember that these laws which will be taught to you are valid for only ideal gases. So first law is Boyle's law. Okay, now what does Boyle's law state? Boyle's law states that under the condition of constant temperature, okay, under the condition of constant temperature, if we consider any volume of gas, okay, any volume of gas, and we consider the temperature to be constant, there is in a container there is a gas, okay, and the volume can vary and the pressure can vary. Why? Because the temperature will keep constant, okay, the temperature will be constant, the temperature is kept constant, okay. So if the temperature is constant, the pressure would be inversely proportional to volume. That is, if volume is less, pressure would be more. If volume is more, pressure would be less, okay. That is inversely proportional to each other. That is the statement of Boyle's law. Boyle's law states that for any gas under constant temperature, the pressure and volume are inversely proportional to each other. That is, if the volume is more, pressure would be less, and the volume is less, and if the volume is less, the pressure would be more, okay. So how does it look like? Let's consider one example over here. Now as you can see, there is a balloon, okay, inside the syringe over here, and that syringe is empty, okay. So when you pull in the inside, I mean when you push the syringe inside, the volume is decreasing, right? If the volume is decreasing, the pressure on the balloon inside the syringe increases, okay. Now when we increase the volume by pulling out the syringe, the pressure on the balloon decreases. That is, the more the volume, lesser is the pressure, lesser the volume, more is the pressure. That is the example or experimental proof for Boyle's law. That is under one condition, that is temperature should be constant. If the temperature is constant, if the temperature is kept constant, then the pressure and volume are inversely proportional to each other. That is, if there is more volume, the pressure would be less of the gas, okay, or if there is less volume, then the pressure would be more of the gas. Now if we want to see graphically, okay, how does the pressure and volume will vary? Let's see. Now as you can see over here, the pressure and volume curve, more pressure, less volume, okay, more volume, less pressure. So as you can see, they are inversely proportional. So the curve varies in this way, okay, varies this way. That is, if I show it to you, so this is pressure, this is volume. So if it is more pressure, the volume should be less, but they meet at infinity. That is, for the pressure to be infinite, the volume should be 0. That's why, see, if the volume is infinite, okay, the pressure becomes 0. Then if the volume is 0, the pressure becomes infinite. At some infinite point, the pressure would be infinite and the volume would be 0. It will touch the pressure axis at some infinite value of the pressure, okay. That is, volume would be 0, then pressure would be infinite, and volume would be infinite if pressure is 0. So that is the meaning of that. Now over here, as you can see, there are 3 curves. So if we change the temperature, as you can see, if we go on increasing the temperature, then the curve will be moving. the curve moves like this. Okay, that is, the temperature plays important role. That is why we have kept the temperature constant. Okay, if we change the temperature, then the curve changes. As you can see, T1 less than T2 equals to T2 less than T3. Okay, so for T1, the lowest temperature, the curve will be lying more nearer to the axis of P and V. If we increase the temperature, the curve goes away, or the curve moves away from the P and V axis. Okay, I hope that is clear to you. Now, as you can see, PV equals to constant. So from here, what can we write? PV equals to constant, because there is a proportionality sign. If we remove the proportionality sign, there would be a proportionality constant. So PV equals to constant. So for two gases, or for two situation, initial and final, what can we write? P1 V1 equals to P2 V2, isn't it? Under same condition, that is, the temperature is same or kept constant for both the situations over here. So what can we write? P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Okay, and over here we know volume is nothing but our mass by density, isn't it? Mass by density. So what can we write? Mass by density, okay, equals to P2 mass by density, right? If the volume varies, the density varies, but the mass remains same. So over here, what can we write? P1 by rho 1 equals to P2 by rho 2. That is for 2, okay? For 2, that is P1 by rho 1 equals to P2 by rho 2, or simply we can write P by rho, that is the pressure by density, would be equals to constant. That is equals to constant. That's why we can equate them. So that was all about Boyle's law. Now let's see Charles' law. Now the second law, that is Charles' law. What does Charles' law state? Charles' law states that under constant pressure, if there is any gas, okay, if there is any gas, the pressure P is kept constant. The pressure is kept constant. If the pressure is kept constant, the other two quantities, that is the volume and the temperature, how these two will be responsible or related to each other, or how they will interact. That is, if we keep the pressure constant, okay, the volume and the temperature are directly proportional to each other. Lesser the temperature, lesser is the volume. More is the temperature, more is the volume. Okay. So if volume is proportional to temperature, from here what can we write? V by T equals to constant if we remove the proportionality sign, isn't it? So from here, if we compare the same gas that is kept at the same constant pressure, so for two different situations, that is for temperature T1, the volume would be V1, for temperature T2, the volume would be V2. Okay. So from here we can get that, and of course we know that volume is nothing but mass upon density. So over here, if we remove the volume and replace it, or express the volume in terms of mass and density, mass is constant again, so it will be nothing but rho 1 T1 equals to rho 2 T2, because volume is nothing but mass upon density. So mass gets cancelled. So mass upon density, that is density into temperature, equals to density into temperature, that is rho 1 T1 equals to rho 2 T2. So I hope that is clear to you. Now let's see how this law is valid. Now as you can see over here, there is a gas, okay, the temperature over here is less, okay. See, as you can see, the pressure is kept constant. Over here also pressure constant. So if we change the temperature, ice and fire, as you can see, it is just to show you that the temperature over here is less by showing that ice, and over here showing the fire, it means the temperature is more. So if temperature is less, volume is less, as you can see, under constant pressure. Over here temperature is more, so volume is more under constant pressure. So what can we say? V1 upon T1 equals to V2 upon T2, or V is directly proportional to T, that is V by T equals to constant, right? I hope that is clear to you. Now you can see the graph over here, V1 T1, right? V1 T1, V1 is directly proportional to T1. If volume increases, temperature also increases. I mean, if temperature increases, volume also increases. That's why V proportional to T. V is dependent on T. If we increase the temperature, volume will increase. If we decrease the temperature, volume will decrease. I hope that is clear to you, right? Now let's see the graph. Now as you can see over here, the Charles law, right? So as we saw that volume is directly proportional to temperature. So if we increase the temperature, the volume increases according to Charles law. But if we vary the pressure now, that is, as you can see the three curves, blue, green and red, P1, P2, P3. P1 is lesser than P2, P2 is lesser than P3, right? So if we increase the pressure, the line or the nature of the graph moves towards the temperature axis, okay? So that is what, if we increase the pressure, the volume goes on decreasing, which we saw in the Boyle's law. That's why if P3 and P2 and P1 are the three pressures, okay, that means P3 has to be greater, because for P3 pressure the curve, as you can see, has lesser volume as compared to other curves. So if we go on decreasing the pressure, the volume goes on increasing, right? So I hope you understood. So that was all about the gas laws, I mean the first part, that is Boyle's law and Charles law. The other laws we will be studying in the coming lectures. So that was all about gas laws part 1, that is Boyle's law and Charles law. I hope you understood. Thank you.